Here's my audience. Okay, I want you all to hold your eyes open for as long as you possibly can. They're probably starting to burn, or they will shortly. Now I want you to picture a rabbit. This rabbit is also holding its eyes open for as long as it can, except this rabbit doesn't have a choice. It is sitting in a laboratory while being administered the Dre's eye test, which includes a rabbit or any animal. They just pry your eyes open and pour various chemicals in so you can't blink them away. Scientific American reported that this test can go on for days. This is only one of the horrific tests done on animals. Animal testing is a heated topic among many corporations and consumers. And many companies have vowed to have cruelty-free products. However, all brands should incorporate cruelty-free products and save our animals. The testing of animals causes undue pain and suffering that can have lasting effects and cause even death in both humans and animals. First, I'm going to talk about the Animal Welfare Act. Piper Hoffman, an attorney focusing on animal rights, reported that approximately 95% of animals tested on, including mice, rats, birds, and fish, are not even covered by the Animal Welfare Act. According to animaltestingprocon.org, mice are 98% genetically similar to humans. That being said, Mark Beckoff, a professor of ecology and evolutionary biology in Boulder, Colorado, reported that extensive research shows that mice and rats are highly evolved in a cognitive sense and have emotional capacities such as the ability to empathize. They also laugh and like to be tickled. Animals are so similar to us that they can have the same emotions that we do. And this is important to remember because now we know that they feel pain and pleasure. Next, I'm going to talk about how animal testing causes harm to humans and animals. Animals and humans have different genetics, so it makes it hard for us to determine whether a certain medicine or treatment is safe for humans. Paul Furlong, a professor of clinical neuroimaging at Aston University, stated that it is very hard to create an animal model that even equates closely to what we are trying to achieve in humans. This shows that animals are not ideal research candidates. For example, thalidomide was a sleeping pill released in the 1950s. A lot of pregnant women took it. It was first tested on animals and showed to be completely fine. However, before it was pulled from the market, 10,000 babies were born with deformities. John J. Pippin, a medical doctor and writer for Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, reported that test subjects were only affected when administered extremely high doses. So the average pill that a human would take didn't affect animals at all. Another drug called Vioxx was an arthritis medicine, and it was another one that was tested on animals. Tests showed that it protected mice hearts. However, NBC News reported that from 1999 to 2003, approximately 28,000 people experienced heart attacks and even cardiac death from Vioxx before it was pulled from the market. The list doesn't stop here, and there are many medicines that have different effects on humans and animals. Animal testing also has a negative impact on animals. According to DoSomething.org, over 100 million animals are burned, crippled, poisoned, and abused in the U.S. every year. That's just in the U.S., so think of how big that number is globally. Most people turn their heads or get angry when they hear about animal abuse on the news. So why is it okay for scientists to abuse animals for cosmetic purposes? As I mentioned earlier, the Braze test is one of these cruel ones where their eyes are just held open. And think of the lasting effects, blindness and burns on their eyes. Peter reported that no experiment is illegal, no matter how cruel, irrelevant to human health, redundant, or painful it might be to animals. Most of these animals aren't even given pain meds to alleviate their pain and suffering. If some brands can be cruelty-free, then why do we need testing on animals at all? It's just cruel and unnecessary. Now I'm going to talk about some solutions to animal testing. For one, we could all boycott cruelty companies and just buy cruelty-free products. The more people, the more change we'll see. And for medical research, we could use human things like cancer cells grown on a petri dish, or we could use humans for research like people that already have these incurable diseases. As a nation, we could also vote in people who will change the Animal Welfare Act to include all animals. We could also make resources to where animals testing is more humane, and we can only use it if there's no alternative. Finally, I'm going to talk about some benefits of the solutions that I just mentioned. If we all boycott and just vow to buy cruelty-free products, this holds these big, greedy companies accountable for what they're doing to these innocent animals. If we change the Animal Welfare Act, it increases safety regulations for all animals, regardless of their species, and it will decrease cruelty across the country. Using cancer cells in humans will reduce the risk of dangerous side effects like birth defects and death, and it will also be more accurate in humans. Reducing and removing animal testing has benefits for both people and animals. To conclude my speech, animal testing is a major issue, and it should be. We all suffer when animals are tested on. They are tortured by the millions, and the Animal Welfare Act doesn't even protect majority of the subjects used. As a whole, we need to boycott these cruelty companies and speak out for our furry friends. Animals need rights too. If companies can remain cruelty-free, then why not make it a standard? Here's my audience.